Imagine being an international student and earning a degree in the US. That degree comes with a lot of benefits, but at the same time, it is one of the costliest degrees out there. Education has been very, very costly, and while you're an international student, you also face expenses that come with your cost of living. For instance, your rent, your groceries, and all of that stuff. Now, US is a completely different country. You will have more expenses than most other countries over there because of the dollar rate. So we are going to make sure that you understand all the types of employment, because these are the only things that can ameliorate your stay, that can make it easier for you and your families. So you get a job and it makes it easier for you. Now there are two types of employments. One is on campus and the second is off campus. Again, the name kind of explains what they are, but the important thing to notice here is that if you are on an F1 visa, which by the way most of you will be, well, you're ineligible to actually work off campus till the end of your first year. So while you're in your first year, you cannot work off campus. But after that, you will be allowed to work off campus. That can be as a part of your CPT or OPT. Again, I will discuss CPT and OPT in another video, but in this case, just remember that if you are on an F1, you cannot work off campus for the first year. Alright, so there's just not one way that we can categorize the types of employment. This was on the basis of location. Now, let's go on and categorize employment based on the number of hours you'll be working. Alright, so now the second kind of categorization is based on the number of hours. So, if you are working less than or equal to 20 hours per week, in that case, you are doing part-time work. In case you are doing more than 20 hours per week and anywhere less than 40 hours per week, well, in that case, that's full-time work. Now, your doing of part-time or full-time work will have a significant effect on the number of months that are left in your CPT and OPT. If you're not familiar with this concept, don't worry about it, because we'll go over on it in the next video. For now, let's take a look at different types of jobs that are available on campus, because most of you will be interested in doing on-campus work first. And these are, let me tell you guys, these are the best ones out there, because not only do you get some great monetary benefits, but you also get your tuition removed. So that is a great benefit, right? Now you must have at least an A grade in the subject in which you want to apply for a teaching assistant. Now, let me tell you how this works really. What you actually have to do is help out the teacher in all of these things that he's supposed to do in class. Because since the teachers are really the professors, they also do research, they also do classwork, they also teach students. So they don't really have all of that time and they need some help, and that's why this job exists. So you develop assignments, you make quizzes, you even hold on sessions like doubt clearing sessions, and you grade students. Alright, so all of these things you actually work on, and that constitutes being a teaching assistant. Now, it's a fairly simple job, but you need to have good grades in the subject. Well, let's say you had Java in the first semester, and if you have at least an A grade in that subject, in the next semester you can hold an appointment with the teacher and explain to him that you have significant interest in being a teaching assistant and that you have significant amount of knowledge in the subject, and that could be leveraged. In that case, he might give you anywhere from $8 to $17 per hour. This might also depend on whether you are an undergrad or a graduate student. Next is the research assistant, and it is one of the most popular jobs out there. However, you should make sure that if you are interested in research, only then you are going forward with this job. The monetary benefits that come with it are, again, the tuition waivers and monthly stipends on top of that. So it's a great way to go, and it's a great way to actually, afford your education. Moreover, if you're going for a thesis-based course, only then you are eligible to apply for a research assistant position. And since you're going for a thesis-based course, you actually get a lot more on your profile. You get publications. I'm not saying that teaching assistant doesn't give you anything. Even that looks great on your resume. But I'm just saying that research assistant, in case you're interested in research, that would give you publications which are much more valuable to your profile. However, being a research assistant is extremely competitive, and getting a position requires for you to have significant amount of research experience on your profile. If you can show that to the professor, if you can show that there's an alignment in the kind of projects you do and the kind of projects that he is doing, well, in that case, he might be interested in working with you on a research project. All you have to do is spend any number of hours that you can with him and really bring out the results. And if that is something that you can do in research, if you know how the logistics of research work, then not only do you get your tuition waivers, monthly stipends, and publications on top of that. And people who are doing research, they know how important publications are to build their profile. And if they want a career in the academia, it gives you a significant resume boost. So make sure that you actually look forward to these positions. And if you're interested, just go on and look for a professor who is working on a research project that is something that you can contribute to. If you know that this is the project and this is how he is going about it, maybe you have some more contributions, maybe you have some recommendations in that case, or maybe you have some prior experience in that research. In that case, you should definitely contact the professor for it. The next thing is a graduate assistant. All right. So this is again one of the most popular jobs. You again get the same kinds of benefits, tuition waivers, stipend benefits, you name it. You know that money is really important for you at this moment because you cannot go back and you cannot ask your parents for more and more money every month. All right. So really, what's the job of a graduate assistant? You have to conduct weekly labs. Well, that's fairly simple. You have to set up the labs, you have to make sure that everything is going on correctly, and you really take care of the equipment. You also get to proctor and grade exams and conduct office hours every week. Now, think about it. This isn't really adding a lot to your resume because you are basically working as a lab assistant or as really some sort of an assistant who is not really getting a lot out of it. All you get is experience and good communication skills. And if you do not have these in advance before you apply, there are very low chances that you will be able to hold the position of a graduate assistant for very long. So if you want that, make sure that you have some teaching skills, some communication skills, and you can really interact with students well enough. You can also look for jobs in different departments of the university. For instance, the networking department, they have to administer the whole department's network. So you can go on and work on that. All right. So now we look at one more thing, that is the resident assistant. I'm not gonna go into the details of the resident assistant, but basically what happens is that if you're living on campus, you can be the resident assistant. And the resident assistant is really the link between the management and the students who reside in the on-campus establishment. So really you have to make sure that there's a community over there and the network is boosting and people are interacting with each other. So you have to make sure that you have these activities and everything. And really there's a whole lot more stuff. I've mentioned it in the video that I've made specifically on resident assistant, and I'll post a link in the description and at the end of this video so that you can find more about it. Finally, we come onto a sort of a gray area. Freelance work is literally, sometimes people say that it's not allowed, sometimes people say it is, because USCIS has never really stated anything about it, so we will not know for sure if it is allowed or not. However, if you are interested in something like this that can give you long-term benefits, then you can do some of these. Maybe start your own blog, maybe even start your YouTube channel, maybe you can invest in stocks or apply for internet jobs. However, again, like I said, this is sort of a gray area, and if people see that you have an income into your bank account because of this freelance kind of work, well, you might be in trouble. So if you're planning on doing something like that, well, make sure that you are protected on every front before you actually start. All right. So these are just a few of the works that you can invest your time in, and really earn money from. You can earn anywhere averaging $800 while you are working part-time. That's 20 hours per week. And in these holidays, let's say during the summer break, you can earn about 2,000 to 2,500 bucks every month when you're working full-time. So that's the kind of money you can make. I just wanted to point it out as soon as possible so that you guys have some idea. And mostly this should be enough to cover your stay and your food and all that stuff, groceries and your rent. So hopefully most of you will do that. But in any case, all you need to do is make sure you find one department where there are less applications and apply over there for a job in case you're not able to get one. Alright guys, so thanks for watching this video to the end. Because you watched it to the end, I want to encourage you to watch the video on resident assistants and make sure that you understand the perks of that. That's a great place to be, but no one really knows about it. So check it out. Also, if you're interested in being in touch with me, contacting me, you can actually go onto my Instagram and post a comment over there, follow me, and actually message me over there. I'll try my best to reply as soon as possible. You can also join the WhatsApp groups and the Facebook groups, and you can contact me over there. If you want to see my whole admissions process and which university I get into, again, you can see that on my Instagram and along with my GRE and TOEFL scores. Okay, alright guys, I wish you all the best and I hope to see you in the next one.